Hello and welcome to the Voice of TOD. I'm Tom, and with this video we're going to talk about an article from an anonymous insider, former 343 employee, who is detailing the crunch currently going on with Halo Infinite. We're over here on The Gamer. I was just uploading video. While it was uploading, I thought, I'll just do a little bit of a check on the news websites that I usually check on for gaming stuff. And anything that mentions Halo, I have to look at. This game isn't out until, we think, November. Certainly fall. It's been pushed back. I think we're probably allowed to say a full 12 months. Following a lackluster response to the E3 demo, the gameplay demo that they showed last year. So the fact that they are already in crunch is a little bit alarming to me. But let's jump in, let's take a look. Well, as I say, we're over here on the game. I'll link in the description below if you want to check it out. Former 343 employee says Halo Infinite being made under crunch conditions. A former 343 employee says that Halo Infinite is being made under crunch conditions, unfortunately. Back in 2019, 343 Industries' Bonnie Ross told the Academy of Interactive Arts and Sciences that Halo Infinite's development was slow and deliberate in order to avoid creating the same sort of crunch conditions that produced Halo 4 and Halo 5, the one we try not to talk about. Now, we're finding out that despite the delay, Halo Infinite's development is being just as crunchy as its predecessors. That's according to a Reset Era user translating a video on Chinese social media site Bilibili. That's a pretty cool name. From someone claiming to have worked at 343 Industries. As the video is in Mandarin, the gamer is not able to independently verify this information. However, what's presented certainly sounds like crunch conditions by all definitions. So, little caveat that I'm going to put in. This is a translated message from a Chinese social media website from someone who claims to have worked for 343. Take this with a pinch of salt. This isn't confirmed, while it could be 100% true. So just bear that in mind as we continue on. The team at 343, especially the low-level employees, works very hard, writes Reset Era user random_o_point. And many of them have experienced working overtime until the early hours of the morning in the past few years. Additionally, the former 343i employee talked about the disastrous demo from last summer that led to Halo Infinite's extended delay into 2021. He called company executives overly ambitious in wanting to create a new game engine and a semi-open world game at the same time. This meant that resources were constantly being swapped back and forth as engine defects were discovered and needed to be corrected. The engine itself can largely be blamed for Halo Infinite's poor demo performance last year, as the engine hadn't been fully completed yet. Lots of content was cut from the single player and multiplayer games in order to get the game content complete back in January. This has led to some things I've made over the years that nobody will probably ever see. Now, cut content from the multiplayer is maybe a bit more of a red flag, but cut content from a single player perspective could just be a slight change in story. We know there was a shake-up higher up. We know that Joseph Stratton came in to fix some of these problems, and he is currently there guiding this game out the door. And we know that Halo 5, which I don't like talking about, but we're gonna have to, had so many problems that they need to nail the story. So I bet they are super duper focused on making the story as good as they can. That said, it is nice to sort of see and know cut content and ideas. At this point in time, we just have no idea. We don't really know what the story's about. We don't really know what's going on. That's probably for them to add to the mystery. While I'm excited for this, while I really want to play this, while I can't wait to see and hear more, that whole idea of leaving it all a mystery does worry me on the back of the last two games done by 343. But let's continue. However, the anonymous employee has said that he still thinks Halo Infinite is going to be a great game when it eventually arrives later this year. In fact, I think the finished product will still be great. The story is a big improvement and the gameplay is much richer. Though the development cycle is too long, don't expect it to be an epoch-making masterpiece. the Nameless Death eventually transferred to Certain Affinity, an independent developer that has been contracted to help finish Halo Infinite, and is happy to be free of 343's baggage. I don't blame them. I mean, again, Certain Affinity coming in to help clean up the mess. This is one article. It's one anonymous former employee who it doesn't sound like is tearing into 343, but certainly is raising concerns and still thinks that the project will be, says here, great. Again, this could just be somebody messing around on the internet, or it could be real. If it is real, if crunch is going on, then even with a 12-month delay, yes, they're working from home due to the restrictions around the world and employee safety and all the stuff that hopefully 343 are doing right. It would be wonderful if crunch could disappear. I don't think it will. I don't think it ever will. I think that's just how the games industry works. And unfortunately, there's no other way around it. Halo Infinite is being developed for the Xbox One, the Xbox One X, and the Series X and S, as well as PC. That's a lot. To make it run smoothly and utilise the benefits of each one of those systems on top of a brand new engine, it's never made a game. As much as I want this game to be amazing, and I think it will, I think this game will be very good. I hope this game will be very good. But when somebody says something as simple as they tried to make this game and a brand new engine, and the new engine has slowed everything down, I think that's something that we'd all figured out. Speaking for myself, I personally didn't really want to think that way though. Whatever we see at E3 in the summer, because we know Halo Infinite is going to have to be a huge presence for Microsoft at E3, especially after pushing it back a year. And with it coinciding with Halo's 20th anniversary, they're going to have to do something big. If it isn't the release of Infinite, what else are they doing? Do I think, not just based on this, but based on Halo 4, Halo 5, everything that's gone on between, do I think that 343 have it in them to pull this off and make a Halo game that pays homage to the wonderful world and the wonderful characters that Bungie gave us? It will never upstage what Bungie did. I don't think it's possible to upstage 5 Halo games that Bungie made during their tenure as the masters of this franchise. But the more I think about it, the more I start to question if 343 are the right people. And like I say, that it's not just on the back of this. I've been thinking it for the last few months, and that doesn't take away from my excitement at this and everything that I'm seeing and everything that we've heard, we've read on the Inside Infinite updates. It's all good. It's all handled really well. It sounds like they've listened to our concerns as fans, but if back in 2019 they're saying we're not going to do crunch, and now they're crunching for what sounds like, a year, maybe longer, who knows? I don't have any of the answers. I'm just asking questions. And maybe, just maybe, Infinite isn't going to answer everything that we want it to. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.